Good morning and a warm welcome to Tech Power Up series. This special focus is on security, a fantastic opportunity for all of us to share and learn from each other, and importantly, agree to work together on an important topic, and a topic that is so important for our customers. And if you look at any research that's been done with customers, whether it's large enterprise, governments, healthcare, or even a small, medium business, security is on top of mind, and for good reasons. If you look at the number of breaches, security threats, and business disruptions that have happened over the years, be it by small time actors all the way to some state sponsored activities, the cause could be so many, but the effect is complete loss of trust. The business impact, the reputational impact that security breaches cause today is forcing many businesses, the industry, governments to work together to improve and enhance. At the end of the day, technology is only as good as the trust that it inculcates. So, Microsoft has taken security very seriously right from the beginning. In recent years, you have seen significant investments that have come in the way of research, in the way of products and solutions and services. And of course, as partners, you've all played a key role in shaping our security roadmap and security strategy. Today, Microsoft is recognized as one of the leaders in security solutions portfolio, ranging from our product services, modern workplace, all the way to Azure as a platform. The length and the breadth of security portfolio today is mind-boggling. And as partners, you have a unique opportunity through this Tech Power Up series to learn, to understand our roadmap, provide feedback in terms of what you see with your customers, and how do we build the most vibrant and capable security ecosystem here in Asia Pac. So today, we are joined by Eric Lam, who's our Security Solutions Sales Leader for Asia Pacific region. Eric has got rich industry experience in security. He's part of our APAC team, responsible for rolling out security solutions and products to our customers. So I'd love to invite Eric to join me on stage to discuss all things security. Eric? Hey, Eric, good to see you.
Thanks, Vivek.
I can see our colors match. That wasn't by design, but it's a good coincidence. So security, I want to talk to you about, what is exciting, what is new in security? What is something that you say are some of the highlights coming from Microsoft?
So, Vivek, I think you actually captured the industry and what's happening in the world today quite well. I think in the security industry, there are a couple of things that are happening right now, right? The things are evolving all the time. But maybe let me start with something that maybe doesn't sound like good news. And this is on the growing global security threats that we are seeing today. Almost every other week, we are hearing some security incident that happens. And nowadays, all these incidents are global in nature. If you look at it, ransomware is becoming such a common phrase these days. Almost every news outlet will have some news about ransomware happening somewhere in some company, and it just does not seem to be ending. And this is a situation that is continuing to increase. Just in the last 6 months, we've had incidents like SolarWinds that hit global companies. And more recently, probably within just the last couple of weeks, we heard of this case in the United States called Colonial Pipelines, where hackers actually delivered ransomware into a company called Colonial Pipelines, and that shut down the pipelines on the eastern coast of the United States, and actually caused a major disruption in the supply of uh, oil and gas to that part of the country, and it was rather serious. And the one thing that we are also seeing is that companies are actually starting to, give in to some of these incidences. They're starting to pay the ransom, uh, and this is in a way a disturbing trend because it shows that companies are sometimes not as well prepared to deal with some of these incidences as they thought they would be. So
Yeah, Eric, I think you highlight some of the key cases that we have seen just in the recent past, right? Right under our noses, we are seeing these cases come up, and despite significant awareness of security issues, and as I said, it's a top of mind for customers. Why do you think? What are some of the reasons where businesses and enterprise still have that gap? Is there a knowledge gap, capability gap, or is there a technology gap? What's your view in terms of what's leading to these type of events and adverse incidences?
well, I think the situation is actually rather complex. Look at it this way. Every company in the world wants to do well in their industry and in their business. And these days we hear a lot about this word called digital transformation. And digital transformation can be the difference between a company growing or just trying to survive, right? So when we talk about digital transformation, companies are trying to perhaps have a better way for their employees to work or deliver new products and services to their customers. And as a result, they got to change some of their business processes, maybe go online, maybe look at e-commerce. And by the way, when they're doing this, security is very important because when you change a big part of your business process and the way that employees work and the kind of vendors and contractors that you work with, all of that introduces risk because security is only as good as the risks that are present in that environment. So for instance, a company that wants to go online, they have to look at the internet, they have to look at putting applications into the cloud. They have to look at, how are they going to protect data of their customers potentially in the cloud as well. So they need to look at the risks posed by the cloud and also look at security solutions that are needed to protect that new data and the new business in the cloud. So all of this, adds additional risk. My team and I, we are supporting some of the largest customers that Microsoft has. We're trying to help them evolve their enterprise security strategy. And a lot of the conversations are around, okay, what is the business trying to do? And at the same time, what are the risks that are involved? And most CISOs, these are the Chief Information Security Officers, they're concerned about what kinds of controls and technology are needed to manage those risks. So this is one of those complications that organizations need to look at. If I can, yes.
Yeah. So you make a good point in terms of thinking about security. We've been in the industry for a long time where security has always been thought of as a bolt-on as opposed to a built-in, right? As companies embark on digital transformations, as governments respond to citizens' needs and go online to improve services, obviously it enhances some of the risk profile of their infrastructure, of data, and of the businesses itself. And you're making a point about how CISOs and security professionals are playing a key role in shaping not just the technology roadmap, but also influencing how the business needs to think security first. So maybe you can share some examples. I think you were planning to do that anyway when I interrupted.
No, no, no worries. Uh, I I think you touch on a very, very good point. Cybersecurity is actually one of those very complex areas in any organization, just simply because it touches, all the way from every employee, every user in the organization, what kind of devices they use, what kind of applications they use, and what kind of, data they have to touch in order to do their work. Uh, and it's been very much more complex because in the last 18 months, this world has seen a global pandemic. A lot of organizations have had to send their employees, home to work. And then suddenly organizations are starting to realize that, whoa, the traditional network perimeter-based security doesn't work anymore because, employees are working from home Wi-Fi, using maybe public Wi-Fi systems, and they are no longer protected by, the internal firewalls. And, security suddenly became very porous, and they had to relook the way that they do security. So this highlights one of the things about security, which is, it has to adapt to the business environment. It has to adapt to the employee base and how employees work. And as a result, one of the things that we're finding, and which CISOs have been telling us, is also that there's sometimes just too many security solutions for them to manage. And this is it is not a small thing, because in the past, people will focus on best of breed solutions. Oh, I want the best and greatest technologies that the market has to offer. But when you have dozens and dozens of security products, all deployed separately, sometimes in silos, it might protect a very specific use case, a very specific situation on security, but you are actually overall not secure. Why? Because between all these different point solutions, there are gaps, right? If the security products are not talking to each other, then you actually have a lot of holes in the security. So CISOs realize this. That's why nowadays they are actually pivoting into looking at security solutions that are, more integrated, that talk to each other, that give them a single pane of glass, one view of the security posture across the organization. And one of the ways that they can deliver this is when they look at built-in security, security that's built into the fabric of the infrastructure, the applications that they use. Because when security is built into the platform, it also becomes more flexible, because when you change the platform to fit the business requirements, security is adapted accordingly. So this is one of the key findings that CISOs are actually realizing.
It's a great point. It aligns very well with how Microsoft looks at security from a technology roadmap standpoint. How each of the solution areas have got security built into the DNA, into the componentry of the solution sets, and the billion-dollar plus investments that goes into continuous security research and development that Microsoft's powering behind. Eric, I want to probably move from, we understand why security is important. The business opportunity is immense as more endpoints get connected, as compute goes to edge, as people work from anywhere, anytime. The need for security is high, and therefore it translates to people on this call, on this meeting today, are professional services providers, solution providers, partners. It means it's massive opportunity. Business-wise, it's also a massive opportunity to be completely relevant to our customers, to our joint customers. So what would be your advice to partners in terms of how to look at Microsoft? Few years ago, people would have not recognized Microsoft as a security leader, right? We had solutions for security, but not necessarily uh, competing on the best of breed basis. Today, Forrester, for example, recognizes Microsoft as the quadrant leader in security, and so many recognitions, other analysts and other industry experts. What's your advice to partners, particularly the technical folks in the audience? How should they be gearing up for the opportunity ahead in terms of looking at security platform, security end-to-end, in line with Microsoft's strategy?
So let me answer that question by sharing with you what probably keeps CISOs and most organizations, what keeps them up at night, right? The fear and concern is always, they will be victim of a threat, and how are they going to see the next, threat that's coming their way? And it's actually quite a difficult thing to do today because the threats are evolving, right? It's always a business-driven activity by hackers because they are going to target organizations that are poorly protected, have less resilience, and it's an easy and quick buck for them. So organizations need a lot of help from organizations like Microsoft that provide the best of security technologies available, and they also need a lot of help from other organizations where they provide additional solutions and services that organizations may not be able to hire for. You might know that there's a global shortage of good, talented, experienced cybersecurity talent. And this shortage is very real, right? A lot of organizations can't hire enough good people. So they are looking to partners, organizations, and advisory firms where they are offering, strong security capabilities, as a service to them. And a lot of times, this is actually a balance. So companies will keep things like cybersecurity strategy and maybe incident response internally, because those are very, very private and critical to their organizations. But all the other security operations might be outsourced to a MSS provider. And that is where the big opportunity is. In the industry today, we've seen a lot of changes. Some of the point solution security providers are starting to decline in importance, whereas a lot of MSSPs are becoming very relevant because there are so many companies that cannot hire these really scarce resources. So the opportunity is really there for all our partners to be part of this process to help organizations do zero trust, so that they can use identity access management to manage all their employees working remotely. There's an opportunity for MSSPs to come in and help protect organizations against new unknown threats that might come around tomorrow or next week. And there's also the overall transformation where organizations need help to just look at the overall operations. How can they be better at security in light of the new business opportunities that they're chasing, whether they're going bigger into the cloud, whether they are enabling more products and services for customers. And all of this is where we need to work together as an ecosystem. Technology providers like Microsoft, together with all our services and technology partners, will be able to help our organization customers get better at security.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Eric. The business opportunity is immense. As we move to cloud, as we move to hybrid workplace, more endpoints, SecOps, you mentioned zero threat. There are so many areas where our partners can play a critical role in supporting our customers and be relevant. Look, I think this is a fantastic opportunity for all of us to learn more. The Tech Power Up keynote, followed by a lot of detailed content. Eric, one final question on when it comes to technology. What's the most exciting takeaway for you when it comes to security from Microsoft Build?
So I think security is, has always been important, will become more important as we go forward. So if we focus our efforts in helping our customers get better at security, right, maintaining their momentum in business and looking at growth, I think that's a fantastic opportunity for everyone involved, because I'm really looking at a world where security is no longer an afterthought. Security is very much an initial part of the business design and planning process, all the way through to execution. Because security is, in my mind, something that helps accelerate business. Because if you know that all your employees, all your data is safe, then you just need to focus on getting that business forward and reaching
Yeah.
the next higher goal.
Awesome. Look, security is an important business. It is the business, some would say. So thank you so much, Eric, for joining us and sharing your thoughts and highlights of security as Microsoft sees it. We have some great content. So really looking forward to seeing some of the technology roadmaps, product solution features, and some case studies being shared as part of this Tech Power Up series. And I want to thank all of you for taking time to join us in this Tech Power Up and wishing you a very successful summit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aaron.